Good job.
Stephen, it's up to you.
And we're going to go through the compensation plan and try to make sure that everybody leaves here with a grasp of what our compensation plan does. If you don't, for some reason, get with somebody that's in the upline. So, with the compensation plan, they pay us how many ways? Two ways. They pay us volume once a month on the 15th of every month, and then they give us a weekly check every Friday based on the cash portion that they set aside. So, with the volume portion, they've assigned, everybody in here knows that all of our ranks include mountain climbing terms and then mountain ranges and then specific mountain peaks. And the reason they did that is because we're on a journey. You're not in this to start off, and it's not buying a lottery ticket and hoping that this Saturday you're going to be rich. You're actually on a journey, and the only way to get to the top is to work together. So when we talk about the global override, that's our volume portion. That's going to be paid to you on the 15th of every month based on your volume and your team's volume, and then even company total volume globally. So what they do is they take those percentages and they divide it up. So if you want to be a base camp's the first level of promotion in the company, and it's 200 volume. Take base camp, take that 200 volume, and divide that by 80 if you're selling the 129 package. Or if you're getting people on wing cash, divide it by 88. Whether it's customer acquisition or you're actually building a team of distributors, or you're doing a little bit of both, you're going to generate volume. So a lot of what we show you on here is going to change dramatically when people start utilizing e-commerce. Mark and I just got with a gentleman in Waco last week that's got a lot of connections in South America and Mexico. And he said, well, how can the people in South America and Mexico get access to this great e-commerce stuff? And Jeremy, who is in our upline, gave us a website where they can actually set up a virtual U.S. address, have their product shipped straight to Mexico, and now we're in business in Mexico through our e-commerce platform. The point of that is, it doesn't matter what you're selling, you're going to generate volume. And when you generate volume, you're going to actually attain the different ranks. So we'll jump straight up to Ascent. If you can't see this in the back, don't worry about it. Go to lifedisrupted.com. Go to click on business at the bottom. And when you're in there, you can scroll down, and there's a PDF version of this document that has all the information about moving through the comp plan and how to do it. So lifedisrupted.com, scroll to the bottom, click on business, and then you can actually click on the PDF and save it to your computer so you can go back and look at it later. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through it. So at Ascent, it's 2,500 volume. So how many people does it take at 2,500 volume if they're buying the largest package, $129.95, and they're doing wing cash? 31.25 people. So at 31.25 people, you're at the rank of Ascent, which is going to pay you between $250 and $1,500 a month. The way they figure that out, based off of mine and Kenny's conversation with Andy at corporate, was they're going to take a portion of global sales and they're going to assign a dollar value per share. And if I say anything that's wrong, Kenny, just jump in there and tell me. So if they say that you're making 20 cents per volume and you've got 2,500 volume, how much is that? $500. So if you want to know how you're going to get paid, that's how you can calculate it. When the company comes in and says this is what each share is going to be worth, you can take those shares, multiply it by your percentage, and as long as you're in between the bare minimum, which is what you're going to see on here, override minimum and override maximum. As long as you're between there, that's what you're getting. If you go over, you're getting the maximum. And if you say, well, that's not fair, I want the next level up, how do I increase that? Go out there and do some more business and get yourself a promotion. Get into that next grid. Yes,
Stephen, how does that volume have to be divided between your legs? Can it all be in one leg?
It cannot all be in one leg. The only way that all the volume can be in one spot is if it's customer acquisition purely. If it's all customer acquisition, you could have 17,000 volume and qualify for the Andes, which is going to get you somewhere between $1,500 and $6,000 in the volume, if it was all purely customer based. Mark and I had several conversations about this. Can that be done? Yeah. What does it take to do that? Go out there and find 1,000 people who want to get on the teledoc program. At 15 volume each, that's 15,000 volume, you're good to go. Or 17 volume if you're doing the wing cache. So can you move through the comp plan just on purely customer acquisition? Absolutely. You know, is it more of a sales job? Yes, it is. Do I want to do that? No, I don't. Does that matter? Not to you. You can do it however you want to do your business. So when you're getting volume and you're moving up through the ranks, the power behind the volume-based comp plan that Ree and Jason put together for us is this. At Ascent, it's 2,500 volume. The next level up is the Tetons, which is 5,000 volume. Most compensation plans will tell you, hey, if you reach Ascent, Karol, we're going to pay you $600 every month. And if Mike reaches Ascent, we're going to pay him $600 every month. It doesn't matter if Mike's got 4,999 volume in his team. He's only in Ascent, even though he's one volume shy of the Tetons, he's making $600. And the company's going to keep the difference, and they're going to smile all the way to the bank. With Disrupt, they passed that money back on to us. That's why when they were setting the compensation plan up, the engineers and the people that develop these things were coming back in going, you can't do that. That's not the way we do things in this industry. Wow. Anybody ever heard of Disrupt? Because we're going to disrupt the status quo. We don't want to do things the way everybody else does it. So what's 4,999 times 20 cents a share?
Just under 10,000. 1,000.
1,000?
999.
So $999, whereas Karol, if she's at 2,500 volume, is making a $500 commission. So just because you're at the same rank, your checks are going to be different based off of your own team and your own efforts. So one other factor to do on the volume before we move into the actual cash portion is it's based off of team acquisition. So it doesn't matter if you had somebody that was benevolent, or if you looked out and said, you know what, my little 80-year-old grandma, I need to do something so that she doesn't have to go out there and be a greeter at Walmart if they would still take greeters. And so you go out there and you sponsor somebody and you place them underneath her, and you sponsor somebody else and you place them underneath her, and you build her 3 legs of her business, and she never talks to a single soul because she probably doesn't even know how to spell disrupt. If you build her business for her and the volume generates, she still gets paid in this volume override. All the way through the compensation plan, all the way down, if you started something and it took off and went crazy, and 8,750 people come on board, well, now she's going to be making somewhere between $10,000 a month and $150,000 a month, just because you started something. That's pretty powerful. Now, if you want to get included into the cash portion, and this is kind of why they set the comp plan up this way, they wanted people to be able to participate in a team building environment, which is your volume, and they wanted those of us who want to be go-getters and want to build a monster check to get rewarded for doing that. So yes, you'll get rewarded if you sign up somebody or your uplines put somebody underneath you and they go crazy. You're going to get rewarded for that. But you're also going to get another reward whenever you sign somebody up as a personal and then they begin bringing on people, and that's our cash portion. So the company takes and sets aside, say they set a $10 commission aside on the cash portion, and they say, every time this product is sold, we're going to pay $10. That's when they come in and say, if it's a personal recruit, you're going to get 30%. So you're going to get a $3 commission every time that's sold. And if they're in your generations 1 through 7, there's 10%. I had somebody the other day say, well, they can't pay out 100% or the company will go out of business. I said, well, you didn't listen. They took a portion of the money, they set it aside for that cash value, and they give it all back to you. They just split it up into your groups. So with the generational pay, that's rewarding you for personal recruitment. So if you're the guy that goes out there and sponsors 50 people, your cash portion is probably going to be doing pretty good. If you're somebody that's going out there and building this business for your little grandmother, is she still happy if she gets $2,000 a month? Yeah, of course she is. The good news is our compensation plan, bless you, also accommodates every personality type. If you're the builder, great, you're going to make a ton of money. If you're the person that's going to need a lot of help, great, we're a team and we're going to help. We'll see what we can do to help you get to where your dreams and goals are. So what Carol's saying for me to tell you about is the actual line maxes. So in the beginning of the compensation plan, down to belay, so base camp, cairn, anchor, and belay have a 40% line max. You got me laughing now. You need to build 3 legs in your business. Can you build more than 3 legs? Anybody know the answer to that? Yes. The reason that we say you need to build 3 legs, and I'll show you an example in a second, is because the company did what Kenny said, and they did a lot of tests to figure out what was the most efficient way. Because what does everybody in here want?
Money.
They want the money. I mean, yeah, we love those products, but everybody in here wants somebody to show them the money. And so the best way to get it is to be efficient and intelligent with your building and help your people, and it's to build 3 legs. So when you sign up 1, 2, 3, and you find person number 4, you need to take them and place them underneath one of your 3 people. The way the 40% line max works is they're going to take the volume. If you had everything in 1 leg, you wouldn't get all of that volume. You'd get 40% of that volume counting towards your next advance.
So if each person is worth 80 points, you got 5 people, that's 400 points. So 40% of that is 160, so this works. But and just start there, now tell them how this doesn't work.
Why don't you tell them how that doesn't work? That's not part of what I was going to talk about.
Okay, basically what happens here, because this has been asked of me from my downline over and over. If you build a team like this, you got your best friend here and they're not doing anything, you got your husband here and he's not doing anything, then you got all of these people that are over here. And this person is going 90 to nothing, and they're building down, okay? What happens is when you have a line max, when you first start out, 40% is here, 30% has to be here, like this. So if your total team, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times 80 people is 800. 40% means 320 people, which is 4, or 320 volume, sorry, which is 4 people. The max you can count off this leg is 4.
That count you too?
That counts you. So you got 3. So the max you got here is 3. You got 1 here, so you got 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. So if you build way down like this, you're not going to get paid on some of those people. So if this is you, what do? You don't move them over. This guy recruited him. You can't take them away from him. No. You go out and talk to somebody else. You tell them what you're doing, or you get a customer that wants Teledoc or the Travel Club or whatever, and you start going here. You start building over here so that you do this. The absolute perfect scenario is for these to be even. You want to have everybody distributed evenly in your team. That's why Disrupt said do 3 legs and keep them evenly distributed and just keep helping each other build in your teams and keep them distributed across instead of building that way, because now you got 6 legs out here and you got to give all them evenly distributed. You don't want to do that. Stick with 3. Keep them evenly distributed. You can't take people away from here unless you put them there. If you put them there, woe be you. Don't stick them here. This guy's doing good. Put them over here. Put them over here. Put them over here somewhere. 40% is the max in your biggest leg. So if you, for some unknown reason, didn't listen to any of us and you put 6 people across, 40% in your biggest leg and the rest of it gets divided out. So you got 60%. So if you have 6 additional legs, that's 10% in each leg.
Well, and isn't part of the compensation plan going to still pay you because you placed them?
Yes.
On the second
Because you enrolled them.
You enrolled them. There's a terminology difference here. There's a sponsor, which is the person that's directly above you right here. That may not be, you may not even know that person. And then there's an enroller. The enroller is the person you have a connection with that is going to get you into the business. That enroller is going to put you somewhere in the team under a sponsor. The sponsor is the person that's directly above you.
Make sure everybody understands. The 7-level generations, it doesn't mean you and then 7 people straight down the line. That's not the way the generation works. It goes from you until the next person in your organization that hits the rank of ascent. So if you may go 20 people down and then you run across a leader, somebody that jumps out there and wants a promotion, and they hit the rank of ascent, at that point, from that person down becomes your level 2. And everybody in their organization becomes their level 1. They unlock that first level of a generational override when they hit the rank of ascent. So that's very powerful. You want to know how to get to your level 3? Go to the person who hit ascent and made you at that point level 2, and the next person down in their organization becomes your level 3 from there down. So your 7-level generations could actually work out to be 300 levels in depth in your organization. So the power in the cash portion is massive, and it compounds by sponsorship. Everybody in here should be able to generate 3 people at the minimum. Some of you guys are studs, and I know you're going to go out there and find 10 and 15 and 20, but everybody can find 3 people. Given enough time, you're going to get it. So if you build your organization the way Carol's telling you to build it, 3 people who get 3 people, and if we're teaching that all the way down through the system, you'll find that those 6 and 7 generation payments become really massive. Anybody like to get $10 a person off 8,700 people?